Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a detailed review on this brand new Roborock Saros 10R. So I've been using this robot vacuum cleaner at my house for over almost 3 months now. I've really enjoyed using it. I'm going to show you exactly how it's been cleaning my floors, mopping and vacuuming, and obstacle avoidance. Now my very next video is going to be my 3-month maintenance. I'm going to take it all apart. We're going to cut the dust bag open. We're going to see exactly how much it's picked up and how dirty all the filters are. And I'll show you how to clean all of them. But in this video, we're going to do a very detailed review. So this robot vacuum cleaner will vacuum and mop your house at the same time. Now it's really thin. It does have LiDAR navigation. They call it Star Sight. It's got sensors on the front and the side that combine with to make it LiDAR navigation. Now it doesn't have any spinning LiDAR on top, and because of that, it is super thin. Now, I really like this robot. It can vacuum and mop at the same time, or you can have it vacuum or just mop. It can leave the mop pads back at the base station. That's a super nice feature. So it can detach them and reattach them. Also, this side brush, it can extend in a corner when it's vacuuming. As it vacuums your house, everything's going to go into the dustbin. And at the end of the job, it's going to vacuum out the dustbin into the dust bag. And you'll have to change this dust bag about every, 2 to 3 months. Now there is a solution tank. You can put a concentrated Roborock solution in here, and it's going to mix the solution with the water in the clean tank to wash the mop pads and to fill the robot's internal water tank. And it's also going to wash the mop pads and suck the water up into the dirty water tank. So you'll have to empty the dirty water tank once in a while. Here's the bottom of the robot. It does have a mop pad that it can move off and mop right next to the wall, which I'm going to show you that. Also the side brush, it can extend it and retract it. There's also a carpet sensor right here, fall off sensors. I love this dual divide brush roller. Long hairs don't get wrapped around it. They will be directed to the middle where they get sucked in. So that's why it's a split roller design, which actually works very well with long hairs. Now there is an internal water tank, and it can, the base station is going to fill it up right here. And it's going to keep your mop pads wet. You got like from 0 to 30 levels of different wetness you can have it set at. Here's the base station. I like that you can take this tray, which is what I need to do, take it over to your sink, get it all nice and clean. I really like that feature. And it does have a self-cleaning feature that it runs these wipers and puts water down here. And it does try to self-clean it, which helps, but you will have to take this over to the sink and clean it once in a while. There's where it charges it, auto empties. At the end of the job, it's going to blow hot air onto the mop pads to dry them. And this is where the hot water comes down to wash the mop pads. Now, after the robot has mopped an area, it's going to come back to the base station, wash the mop pads. The water gets sucked up into the dirty water tank. But before it gets into the dirty water tank, it's going to pass through a dirt detection sensor. And if that water is dirtier than normal, it's going to tell the robot, go back and remop where you just came from. That's called a remopping event. That is all automatic. Now, if your kitchen floor was clean and the water was not as dirty or if it was like a normal dirt, it wouldn't tell it that. But if it's dirt, like the dog walked in, got it all messy, and this wasn't able to quite clean it up all the way on the first pass, the base station will tell the robot to automatically go back and remop that area that you just came from. Now let's get started showing it vacuuming and mopping my house. So I want to show you how well the Roborock Saros 10R has been mopping my house. We're going to watch it mop my kitchen. Now the Saros 10R does have an internal water tank. The base station did fill that internal water tank up with water, and it also washed the mop pads so that they're nice and clean and ready to go. So it's really quiet when it's mopping. Now you can have it vacuum and mop at the same time. Now there it's extending that side brush. It can mop right up next to the wall. I've got it mopping only. And the obstacle avoidance is really good. We keep our shoes over here and it does avoid them. It doesn't get entangled in them. And it can automatically sense that carpet and avoid that carpet or lift the mop pads up if it's vacuuming. See there, it lifted the mop pads up. And I like the low, slim profile. It can get under some furniture. You can see it's wetting the mop pad with that internal water tank. It can put some water on top of it so it mops better. Now, since it has LiDAR navigation, it can mop and vacuum in nice straight lines. And once again, it can extend that side mop when it's right up next to the wall. And then in the app, I can see in live view where it is on the map at all times. See there, it's going to extend the mop pads. It's going to lift the mop pads up. Now, when it was mopping that wall, it noticed my shoe and it took a picture of my obstacle. There I am standing, so it avoided my shoes and it took a picture of it. There it is, mopping in straight lines. We'll get a close-up view of it mopping. And maybe you can see it dropping the water onto the mop pads. Oh, it's recognizing me as an obstacle. So you do have different wetness levels you can set. This floor is drying relatively quick. I do have it on kind of a wetter setting. I think it mops better. If your floors are really dirty, I think a wetter mop pad does a better job of mopping. I've got it set on 17, which is about half. But as you can see, it's only been maybe a minute and it's already dry over here where it's already been. Okay, so it's all done mopping. It's going to return to the base station. The base station is going to wash the mop pads with hot water. Then it's going to suck the water up into the dirty water tank. Then it's going to pass through a sensor called a dirt detection sensor. So if this kitchen had more mud on it than normal, those mop pads, that water is going to be dirtier than normal and it's going to pass through this sensor. And if it's dirtier than normal, the base station will tell the robot, go back and remop where you just came from. That's called a remopping event. And so now it's going to wash the mop pads. This takes about 2 minutes. And you'll hear a water pump kick on to put water down there. You'll hear the mop pad spinning, and then it sucks the water up into the dirty water tank. Okay, then at the end, it's going to turn a fan on and heat the air and dry the mop pads. It's not very loud at all. Okay, let's see how good this mopped the floor. Let's go empty this dirty water tank. All right, here's the dirty water tank. Wow, it's been doing a good job. Okay, we're going to see how well the Saros 10R vacuums up my room and avoids some headphone cables. Now, this robot is able to detach the mopping pads. It can leave them back at the base station because it's in a vacuum-only mode. And when it needs to mop, it can reinstall them. Now, the first thing it's going to do, it's going to go around and do the perimeter of the room first. Then it's going to go back and forth, make the straight lines. One of the hardest things for a robot to avoid is a long cable that's on the ground there. We're going to try a kid's toy, a ball, and a shoe. It is able to avoid curtains a little bit. And I do have it in the settings turned off, the side brush. You can turn that side brush on so that it's turning when it's vacuuming carpet. It will turn that side brush when it's on hardwood floors, but on carpet, you got to turn it on in the settings. There's also an LED light on the front of it. If the room is dark, it can turn an LED light on in the front. So it looks like it is recognizing that shoe and trying to avoid it. Now it will take a picture of it. I like that it's staying really far away from it. Now here comes a really big test. Okay, so it did not pass that test. That can be really hard to identify a cable on the ground. It is doing a good job of vacuuming. I'll just go ahead and, so let's kind of wind this up now and see how it does. Because if it keeps going, it could get wrapped up around in it. Now, normally it doesn't damage it, it just kind of gets wrapped up in the roller a little bit. And it causes it to stop, and then you got to go unwind it. So it knows something's there. It should avoid it on the next pass. So yeah, it knows something's there. It's getting pretty close to it. I would like for it to stay a little farther away from it. So it's identified the ball, but it's getting way too close to it. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen it avoid that better. So it identified the shoe. There's that slipper. It has not identified the headphones, and right now it's doing circles around that ball, and it hasn't identified it yet. It's playing soccer with the ball a little bit. Finally. Yeah, it's still trying to eat the headphones a little bit. And it did eat the cable. So we'll have to stop that. It just normally wraps up around the brush roller. It doesn't damage it, and sometimes you'll find it kind of wrapped around a little bit. And then the machine will stop. So then, I do like the Duo. See how it's got the split brush rollers? You don't get long hairs wrapped around the edges. If the long hair gets wrapped up here, it's going to be directed to the middle where it's split and then sucked into there. It's been doing a really good job of vacuuming my house. There's that carpet sensor. And again, it can remove and install the mop pads itself. There's the side brush it can extend, but I've got it turned off on carpet. Okay, so let's see exactly how well. Wow, it's been cleaning very well. You know, it doesn't replace an upright vacuum cleaner, but it does a really good job. Put it on a routine where it's cleaning your carpets about once or twice a week. And now it's going to come back to the docking station. Another vacuum is going to kick on in the base station and suck everything out of that dust bin. And it reinstalled the mop pads. Okay, here it is sucking everything out of the robot. So about every 2 to 3 months, you're gonna have to replace this. Put a new one in. This thing is full. It's time for me to replace mine. You simply just pull that out and then slide a new one, and that is completely full. Wow. It's been doing a good job of vacuuming my house. I like having these dust bags because there's no mess. Okay, right now this robot unfortunately is not on sale. It's full price, $1,600. Now that's a very expensive robot. It does have all the latest advanced features though, and I actually do really like it. Now something that's pretty close, the Q-Revo Curve is $1,100. That's an excellent robot, but the LiDAR is on top, which makes it a little bit taller. But these are almost the same. This one doesn't remove its mop pads. Now there is a Curve X that just came out that is going to be really similar to the 10R. It's the slim body in the Curve dock. So I want you to see, I've been using this almost 3 months now in my home extensively. It has been our cleaning robot it's been cleaned like 2 or 3 times a week. So let's go. It's got a 208 hours on it, 180 time of cleaning. And you can see, scroll through it now, some of these are just from me stopping it. So most of them are green check marks. Most of the time it does make it back to the house. This one, it might have just gotten interrupted, by the user. So I may have gotten annoyed with it and told it to go home. But most of the time it does a full house cleaning. This one is when it mops. So, and then it gives you a dirt map. Ooh, that was dirty. So it did a remopping event. Yep. And dirty area is detected. Robot returns to the dock for mopping. It washes the mops and remops. So you can see I've been using this a lot. Now it has gotten stuck a few times. I'd say probably 10% of the time, I'll have to go find it. It's just in some random spot. Sometimes it does wrap up in a cord. Now it did seem to struggle with this type of carpet with obstacle avoidance. And again, be sure and check out my video. I'm going to be cutting open the dust bag, doing all the maintenance on it. We're going to see how well that's called the 3-month real world test. This is my detailed review. I figured, I wanted to do this because I actually used it for 3 months. I mean, I basically lived with it. And I think I can give a more in-depth knowledge on it after living with it for 3 months and just watching it clean my house every day and seeing how it does. And so I hope this video helps. Again, I bought this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. You'll see that its obstacle avoidance is pretty rough, but that might just be attributed to this type of carpet because the Saros Z70 really struggles on this type of carpet using the robotic arm. So be sure and check out that video. I've been using this one now for about a month and I did an updated video on it. And I'll be doing a 3-month test on it also. But again, I'll put a link to it in the show description notes. If you purchase the product using my link, the product won't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. Now, I do hope this goes on sale. It eventually will, I hope. Right now, full price. If you do pay full price, you're going to get a great user experience. It's going to do a great job cleaning, vacuuming. It's going to get under low areas. I find that getting into low, thin areas, my house just doesn't need it as much. It's only got like 3 areas where it does it, which it's under a couple dressers, which those usually get pretty dirty anyway. I find that the ones with the spinning lighter on top, they can go under my beds and most other furniture like this chair and stuff. So I like the concept of it, but I don't know how much I need it for my house. But this thing has all the latest and greatest features, other than the robotic arm, which, watch that video on that one though. But again, I will be doing a detailed comparison, because if you saw the videos, some of it, the Dream X50 has been sitting right next to it for 3 months. So the Dream X50 and the Saros 10R have been cleaning my house for 3 months side by side, and I've learned a lot. I like both of them, but I do have a favorite, and it is the Dream X50. I think it's going to be my new #1 pick, but these are so closely, it's just so close. So again, I really do appreciate everybody's support. If you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.